Welcome to Right Nail Studio. My name is Rebecca, and today we are doing a full pedicure. This is a spa pedicure, so the client will soak for a little while before we get started. And when you start, you just want to make sure that you are looking at the entire foot to take a mental note of the things you will need to take care of. So if you haven't already, go ahead and watch my previous videos for this series. That way you can learn about the tools and implements that I use in order to achieve a clean and safe pedicure. So first things first, I am going to apply the callus remover where I see it needs to be applied. And then I'll wrap the foot and start working on the toenails. So when I'm pushing back what seems to be the cuticle area, I'm actually just removing any dead skin that is softened by the water and the cuticle softener. I do not push back that eponychium area just because for toenails, they are a bit more sensitive. So I don't want to hurt my client. I just want to get rid of the excess skin and dead cuticle for a smooth polish application. Before I trim the toenails, you'll see there that I use my curette just to swipe underneath the nail to see how far I need to clip. Generally, you can see the client's free edge, but sometimes it can be misleading. So you just want to make sure that there's no skin that you can accidentally clip and then hurt your client. Sorry. This client wanted her toenails pretty short, and I do not follow the straight across rule. I don't feel like that is beneficial for every client. So I will clip along the free edge itself. And once I do that, I'm going to take my file just to even out the shape. I will be including every step in this video. It is in 2x speed just to, help with the video not being so long. But I am going to go through every single step so that you guys can get a pretty good idea of what a pedicure looks like. So on this particular client, the pedicure was about an hour. And she didn't have any big issues, just the general dry feet. She just needed her toenails trimmed. And of course, she wanted a gel polish application. So that will be included in today's video. Once I get a good shape on all of the toenails, I will go ahead and rub off as much of the callus remover as possible and start filing the client's foot. So I do have a serrated file, but it needs to be replaced. So I've been using this sanding file in place of that. And I really love the results of this tool. The key is that you want to make sure that the client's foot is not moist or too wet, just to avoid the file from sliding and slipping around. Once that is done on that foot, I will have her place her foot back into the foot bath and start the same process on the other foot. I'm just making sure that everything is dry so that I can see exactly where she needs callus remover. Just taking a mental note. So you want to check the heel. You want to check the big toe, just below the big toe, and of course the other side of the foot. When you are applying your callus remover, you want to remind your client that it might become itchy and that if it does, to let you know so that you can rinse the foot off. Next, I'm applying the cuticle softener to aid in the skin cleanup and the nail trim. And it's pretty much the same for the other foot. You just want to push back the skin, not so much the eponychium, just to get a clear nail plate. The next step will be trimming of the toenails and then of course shaping. So while I do that, I'm just going to talk to you guys about some things that I have changed over the last 2 years of being a pedicurist. So when I first started, I did not wear gloves usually, but I started to notice a breakdown in skin on my cuticles and my fingers. So I decided that wearing gloves would be the best option for me. You don't have to wear gloves, but I highly recommend it just because you are using solutions that can harm your skin, and of course your clients' dead skin and things like that in the water. You want to avoid that touching your skin, getting under your nails, things of that nature. So I definitely recommend wearing gloves. Nitrile gloves are going to be the best option because they don't break as easily, and of course the solutions will not go through them. Another reason why I started wearing gloves was because I like to keep my nails done, and I feel like doing pedicures without gloves made my nails break down faster. Of course, the polish chipping and things like that. So if you are not wearing gloves right now as a nail tech, you don't have to, but I highly recommend it just because of the long-term effects of exposure. Another thing I changed was how many towels I had. So over time, I had accumulated quite a few towels, but I've decided here lately, after my last batch of replacement towels, that I'm only going to keep a few on hand. Since I am a solo freelancing nail tech, I don't really need to have 100 towels. Yes, I'll have to wash more, but I won't be overwhelmed with the amount of towels. And of course, you have to think about storage. So I keep a small stock, and I just keep a nice little schedule for me to wash and have enough for my clients for the week. Let's get back into this service. So I am now working on the callus parts of the foot, and you just want to make sure that you are hitting all of the hot spots. Now, it's important to remember that you will not always get everything off of the client's foot. You, of course, are going to do your best to make sure you do get everything smooth and clean, but like this little toe here, it is very calloused. So I was only able to get the top layer just to avoid injuring the client or causing any discomfort because the area was so calloused. So you're going to soak a total of 2 times. This is the second time. I'm going to start working on the callus part first. So here you'll see that I'm going to dry the foot and then go in with the smoother side of my sanding file. And the reason I do this is because even though I do dry off the foot, it is still a bit moist just to knock off that excess dead skin. Now, back on the fact that you won't get everything off, a lot of times clients do not drink enough water, so their feet are dry. They aren't necessarily calloused, nor can that dryness be removed. So you just want to make sure that you keep that in mind because you don't want to overwork the client's foot. So make sure that you're telling your clients to drink more water. They will say they are or that they will, but we can always tell by their feet what they're doing at home. Once I file the foot for a second time, I am going to go ahead and start taking off some more of the dead skin off of the nail plate. And like I said, this is just to prep for polishing. I will go in with a buffer to remove some more of that dead skin. You can see here, I'm not clipping the cuticles. There's not always a reason or a need to clip or trim the cuticles. Pushing back the skin and going over it with a buffer will aid tremendously in removal of that dead skin. Next, I'm going to go in with a sugar scrub just to exfoliate and smooth everything over. So you don't need a heaping amount of scrub. The amount that I have is sufficient enough. You just want to split that in half and then, of course, apply it to the client's foot and massage it in. Make sure that you hit those hot spots that you used your foot file on, and it's going to get everything nice and clean and smooth and ready for moisturizing. The scent that I use is tingling mint, and majority of my clients love this sugar scrub. So you just want to rub that in real good, and then of course put your client's foot back in the foot bath just to rinse it off. and start the process on the next foot. I hope that you guys are enjoying this Pedicure for Beginners series. I did have quite a few subscribers ask about pedicures, so I just wanted to put this together for you guys. Today's video is a bit sped up just to save on time, but I hope that you're getting the full picture of what a pedicure looks like. I'm a simple type of nail tech. I like to focus on my clients' foot and nail health. So every now and then I'll do some acrylic toes, do some designs, but for the most part, I like to make sure that my clients are consistent with their appointments and that their feet are healthy. Let's talk about at-home / aftercare for my clients' pedicures. So I generally recommend a few things. One thing being drinking more water. We all need to do it. I am guilty of not drinking enough water. But drinking more water and moisturizing their feet is a big thing that I tell them to do regularly. What I recommend for moisturizing is going to be sweet almond oil. And it's just because it is a very penetrating oil, so it won't leave your skin, slick or shiny or anything like that. It'll go right into the skin really well. And it does help soften a lot of the dryness that my clients experience. I personally use it on a regular basis for my family, and sweet almond oil is just the tea. My hope for every client is that they consistently get pedicures every 4 to 6 weeks. I generally like the 4 to 6 week window because it does give a little bit more time for the toenails to grow. And it's really nice to see the new growth after you have worked your magic. So just keep all of that in mind. You will not get everything done for this client in one sitting, okay? You have to keep in mind that it is a process, especially if they have problematic toenails, if they have hard calluses. It all takes time to see progress, and if your clients don't understand that, then you probably won't have as much client retention. But my clients are pretty easygoing, so they do what they got to do. They come in for their appointments and we get great results. So we're going to get into the closing of the pedicure. Prior to gel polish application, I like to moisturize the feet during massage, and I use a massage cream. It came in the kit with my sugar scrub. But here you can see is where I start trimming the cuticles. So I generally wait until the very end, and what I'm trimming is just skin that was not able to be filed away or scrubbed away or pushed away. So that is what I'm trimming. I'm not trimming the eponychium. I'm not doing too much. I don't want to open any skin. Toes are a lot more sensitive than fingers. So I'm just getting rid of what is visibly sticking up and out. Now for the massage. So in nail school, I didn't really learn about pedicures. I had to pretty much beg for my instructor to start our pedicure segment of our syllabus. So she kind of just showed us like a general kind of, I guess, step, but it just wasn't effective. So that's why I took my meticulous manicurist course, which has been a great resource for knowledge and information. But for the massage portion, I have had to watch a lot of YouTube videos, A lot of clients are really sensitive, so I tend to not really give a deep massage, but I have learned a few things. So we can add a video to our series here about massage if you would like. So just give this video a thumbs up for that. But like I said, I'm just going in with the massage cream. It's moisturizing and soothing. And then I will start setting up for a gel polish application. Now let's get into the debate of gel polish and regular polish. I have a lot of clients say they prefer gel polish because it quote unquote lasts longer. But the truth is that if your application is correct and clean, the polish will last whether it is gel polish or regular polish. As a pedicurist, I prefer regular polish just because the removal is a lot easier and less time consuming at their next appointment. But I always give my clients the option. I never make a decision for them. I don't tell them what I'm not going to do. I give them options and they have every right to choose what they feel is best for them. As a pedicurist, the only difference between gel polish and regular polish for me is that with gel polish, I can do a lot more design work. With regular polish, it's not as easy. So that's my only debate on the difference between the two. I'm going to go ahead and go in with my first layer of color after I apply the base coat and cure it for 60 seconds. And my client did fall asleep, so you can see me trying to wake her up or adjust her foot so that it wasn't falling backwards. I was just afraid it was going to fall in the water. I do let my clients sleep through their service, but I don't know. It was a lot at this point. We had been here already for a couple of hours because she did get her nails done as well. But basically, I'm just applying the polish clean and avoiding the gel touching the skin, just so that it's, a clean application. Make sure that you're curing completely in between layers, just to avoid the paint from chipping or cracking or peeling. It's just really important to take your time with this step. After the second coat, I will cure again for another 60 seconds, and then I will apply the top coat and cure that as well. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Make sure that you follow me on Instagram at BeccaB_. And of course, subscribe. Subscribe. I'm thinking about doing a giveaway really soon. So just stay tuned for more content. Again, my name is Rebecca, and I hope to see you soon.